if he's not doing something that you desire, like opening the car door for you, getting you flowers, texting you back in a specific amount of time, calling you, asking you on a date, taking out the trash, whatever it is that you desire, instead of trying to control and manipulate him into getting him to do the thing by saying, you're not doing this thing, I wish you would do more of this thing.
Saying you're not doing this thing, I wish you could do more of this thing, is not manipulation. Where is the manipulation part? That is clear, effective communication. And it is how you're supposed to communicate your expectations. That is, if you can do it in a kind and gentle manner. It can be very effective. You communicate your expectation and people take that into consideration and then you move on. You're both happy. It's not manipulation.
I have another trick for you that will change the game altogether. You see, I just went on a date with this man who pulled up to pick me up. And instead of getting out to come open my door, he basically just said, get in. And while it was the first date, I didn't make a fuss about it. I just observed it. And instead of trying to make him wrong for it or comparing him to the last guy, because the last guy was very persistent in terms of opening the car door.
You said you should not compare him to the last guy. And then you proceeded to say that the last guy was very persistent in opening doors. That is comparison. And if the last guy was opening doors, and that is, it seems like it is, a very important thing for you, it's a priority, it's a necessary condition, then why are you not still with the last guy? Obviously, it doesn't seem as important after all because you're not with him anymore. Because if opening doors mattered so much, then maybe you could have turned a blind eye to the other more alarming traits that you probably found in him. And you could have just stayed with him because he opens doors.
I just held the vision that he was the type of man that wanted to open the car door for me. And instead of saying anything, I paused, hesitated, thinking that he was going to get out to open the car door. He didn't. I said, okay, no problem. I opened my own car door. I got in. I let it go. I just remembered in my mind that it is a deep value of mine to have my car door opened for me always and forever.
Expecting a man to open a door for you during the first date or the second or the third or even the 10th may not be as bad. It may be a possible and reasonable expectation if you inform him of it at least and if he agrees to play along. However, you're not going to tell me and tell other women that are single and that are watching you and trying to set standards of their own that it is okay and it is acceptable to expect a guy to open doors for you forever. You can't be so immature. At this point, you're clearly just trying to confuse other women and keep them single. Because when you have children, when you have two babies, your man is probably not going to be opening doors for you. When your children are crying at the back of the car because one of them lost his shoes and the other is looking for his teddy, clearly you are not going to have the same expectations. He can't be opening doors for you forever. When you look at the bigger picture, does it really matter that much to have a guy that opens doors for you? And like I said, if that's something you like, no problem. You can ask the guy and he will probably do it happily. But don't make it sound like it's necessary or like it's a deal breaker because you're just going to influence other women and they could come across their best possible match and the most suitable match for them and just eliminate that person because he didn't open a door.
So one, I just held the vision of him opening the car door. Two, I saw him as the type of man that likes to open car doors. And three, I honored my values that it's very important to me that I have a man that opens the car door for me. And number four, I let go of all expectations and I just allowed myself to be with him throughout the night, looking at him from a lens of love rather than judgment and picking him apart.
So you just admitted that you would judge him and pick him apart because he didn't open a door. Like I said, it doesn't matter that much. Most men don't decide consciously to not open a door for you because they don't want to or to offend you on purpose. At the end of the day, he's going on a date with you. He probably likes you to some degree. He probably doesn't want to offend you. And it cost nothing to open a door for you. So he probably just didn't think about it. And like I said, if it mattered that much to you, the best course of action is to just mention it, to just let him know. And that's it. It's out of your hair.
And guess what, my love? After the date was over, he walks up to the car and he goes, "Oh, I'm supposed to open the car door for you, huh?" I didn't say a word. All he did was realize because of the energetics that I was in, that he was the type of man that opens car doors. And so he walks over to my door, opens my door, and then when he drops me off at home, he gets out of the car and opens my door. I didn't have to control him by saying, I'm a type of woman that likes my car door opened. You should be the man that does that. I didn't have to manipulate him into doing it. I just got to be in the energetics and hold the vision, and he was able to rise to meet me. You see, instead of trying to talk your way into getting something done, this specific formula of holding the vision, giving the man the benefit of the doubt, putting him in a place of power, allowing him to rise to the king, knowing your values, and then letting go of all expectations is exactly how you get the man to do exactly what you desire. It's an energetics thing, less about talking about what you want, more about being what you want. Again, it's a practice that takes time.
It's not trying to control him. Again, that's just being mature enough to communicate verbally in a clear way what your expectations are. And of course, you don't have to do it with this attitude. You can be kind about it. The guy may tolerate it and he may be happy to do it. There's no way on earth I'm going to believe that your energetics made this happen. You probably made him understand through your non-verbal body language that he was doing something wrong. You probably gave him subtle hints that you were not okay with that. And you said when he said get in the first time, you hesitated, you thought about it for a minute, and then you go in. So obviously he noticed that. He's a human being after all. So if he had a good date with you, if he saw that you still gave him a chance, of course he's going to go ahead and still do what you expect, despite you being immature in this scenario and not having told him in a clear way. Man cannot read minds. This was bad advice. This is not good advice by any means. Not all women are like this. There are women that give good advice, and I like to think that I'm one of them. But this is not the type of advice that will help you find the one. This is the type of advice that is meant to keep women single, in my opinion.
Have lunch with me while I tell you about the bare minimum things that a guy does that you don't need to be impressed by. Opening the car door for you guys. Opening the car door or opening any singular door is absolute bare minimum, and he should be doing that immediately upon seeing you. Please do not use that as some sort of like, oh my God, he's such a gentleman.
I'm saying if he opens the door for you, that's nice. That's something to appreciate. He's a gentleman, or he's trying to be a gentleman, and that's a good sign. If it matters so much to you, you can just wait for 2, 3, 5 seconds. When he sees that you're not reaching for the doorknob yourself, that you're not trying to open the door, he is gonna notice, and he's gonna come, hopefully, running and get the door for you. So I don't think this is a big deal. If you're a girl that expects this type of treatment, you can send subtle hints the way that girl in the first clip probably did. Or you can just tell him in a nice, gentle, feminine manner without turning it into an argument, but you can just tell him what you prefer. It helps.
Some people may think that this is a super impressive thing that a guy does, and not everybody knows this rule. I'm going to say it anyways. It's the rule of him standing, like if you guys are walking on a sidewalk together, if he stands like on the side and like near like where the street is, that is very nice, a very gentlemanly thing to do. But again, what have I been saying? Bare minimum. But that is something that a man should think to do already. That isn't something that to be so impressed by. Like if they're not actively doing that, he is like an absolute like low life loser. I'm sorry.
What? What kind of immature person are you? What type of crazy childish thinking is this? I've never heard of something like this. Yes, it would be nice if he thought of something like this and if he did it. But if he's a normal human being the way I am, this would probably never cross his mind. And it's a silly expectation to have, especially if it's unspoken. Again, you can't think he's a loser and a lowlife if he doesn't do something so specific and so ridiculous that probably nobody have ever thought about, unless you're reading every single mediocre imitation of 50 Shades of Grey that there is out there. I don't think anyone would think of such a thing. If you come across someone who is nice enough and thoughtful enough to do such a thing, it would be nice to appreciate it. It's not the bare minimum, because I'm not saying you should appreciate it now and show up in your wedding dress for the next day, but you should at least let's take a mental note that he did it and that you liked it, because who thinks of such a thing, and who would eliminate someone who could be like I said, their best possible, their most suitable other half, their most suitable life partner, possibly just because he wasn't standing closest to the sidewalk. Plus, why are you even standing next to the sidewalk? What type of dangerous activities are you two engaging in on a first date? I don't know if you noticed, but I skipped her second rule because it was about paying the bill on the first date, and I do agree with that. I think that the guy should pay for the first date, but again, I always say it, because he's paying, you should not judge him when it comes to where he takes you. It could be a coffee date, it could be anything. He is paying. He doesn't know himself if he likes you as of yet.
Buying you flowers, complimenting you.
I agree. It's not much to ask for. The guy should think about buying you some flowers, especially if it's a first date. If he wants to make a good first impression, he should compliment you. But with this attitude, look at her attitude. I'm shocked. I can't even speak. I'm sorry. I won't be buying you any flowers if this is the type of attitude you're giving me.
Bare minimum. Bare minimum.
And if I was to go out of my way to go and buy you flowers and show up, at the least I expect is a smile on your face. But I can't deal with her attitude. She's giving this advice as if it's so necessary and that women should literally just spit in the face of the guy if he doesn't do any of these things that she's randomly plucking out of her. And obviously it is bad advice.
Throw this in there, but he should be paying for dates consistently. Almost all the dates, in my opinion. What are we doing as a woman paying for a guy? Why? Ew.
I want to talk about this because this is one of the expectations that I have for a man, but I don't have 20 other unnecessary expectations as well. I'm reasonable to some extent. When the guy likes me, I expect him to pay for all the dates for different reasons that I'm not going to get into. But at the same time, I don't have this type of attitude. Of course, I don't feel obliged to do something crazy for him in return and offer myself on a golden platter just because he's paying for dates. He's paying for us to be together and to talk. We're both benefiting. But at the same time, I don't make it sound this way, like I'm a very ungrateful and horrible person when I'm with him. I understand that it costs money to go places and to do fun things and to go on nice dates and to be original and creative with that. So the least I can do is be kind to the guy, to show appreciation, to have a smile on my face, and to play a part in making sure that we both have a good time. I don't just pull a long face and have an attitude and almost spit in his face if he doesn't open a door for me.
Good morning and good night texts? Absolutely bare minimum. Bare minimum. Oh my God. Coming up with somewhere to go for a date, okay? Planning it the entire date. Making a reservation, all of that is bare minimum.
I just wanted to share with you the last bullet points that she's going to mention, which is coming up with date ideas, which clearly the guy is going to do because he's going to see what is within his budget. Like I said, if I expect the guy to pay for every date, then obviously he's going to be the one planning them out because he can see what he can afford and he can plan accordingly. And I'm going to show up. I'm going to be very nice and very appreciative, and I'm going to make sure we both have a good time. And also, I'm not going to nitpick or cry or complain about why he didn't take me to a specific fancy restaurant or he didn't do something specific, which is very expensive, because like I said, I expect him to pay for everything. So I'm not going to be nitpicking and criticizing what he does. And when it comes to the good morning texts, obviously if there's chemistry, if you two are getting along, if you're going on many other dates after that, of course, it's going to come naturally. He's going to be texting you. He's going to want to know what you're doing. And that comes naturally. But I don't think this girl ever got to that stage. With this attitude, she doesn't stand a chance, believe me. If you want a real guidance when it comes to dating for marriage, if you are hoping to find your most suitable and most ideal match within 6 months to a year, then I invite you to check out my chronological course that is available in the classroom section of my community. You will find the link in the description box under the video. Hopefully, it helps you find your best and most suitable match, your potential husband, within ideally 6 months to a year, because it takes you step by step and guides you throughout the entire journey. And I will see you there.